Representative Deputy Lieutenant, Deputy Mayor, Freeman of the Borough, Honorary Aldermen, Councillors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Please be outstanding for the Worshipful Mayor, the Royal Borough of Kingston, Thames, Councillor Royal Borough.
Good evening, please be seated. Good evening, everyone. It's lovely to see so many people here today. I will invite my chaplain, Father Martin Hislop, to please open the meeting.
Let us pray. God of power and might, wisdom and justice, assist with your spirit of counsel and fortitude the council of this royal borough. Grant that the councillors and officers may be enabled by your spirit to lead our borough with honesty and integrity, and at all times remember those whom they serve, especially those who are in special need. Amen.
Thank you, Father Hislop. Can I draw everyone's attention, please, to the emergency evacuation arrangements that are printed on the front of the agenda. We also have had a request this evening for the meeting to be filmed. I assume everybody's okay with that. Agreed? Thank you. So item number 1 on the agenda is apologies for absence. Are there any absences?
Apologies, Mr. Mayor, from Councillors John Ailes, Bill Brisbane, Tom Davis, Mary Clark for the late arrival, Sheila Griffin, Priya Patel and Ken Smith.
Thank you. Item number 2 on the agenda is declaration of interest. Do any members wish to declare any disclosable pecuniary interest relevant to items on this agenda, please? None? Thank you. Item number 3 on the agenda is installation of the mayor. The first item of business on our agenda for this evening is, as I said, installation of the mayor. So it says it twice. At the last council meeting on 26th April, Councillor Jeff Austin was formally elected mayor of the Royal Borough of Kingston upon Thames for the coming year. As there are no formal speeches on that occasion, I am now going to call upon Councillor Richard Hudson, please, if you would like to come forward. Councillor Hudson.
Testing, as they say. We on? Excellent.
Mr. Mayor, Representative Deputy Mayor, Honorary Freeman,
MP, MEP, Honorary Aldermen, distinguished guests, councillors, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there's a mouthful. When I proposed Jeff at the last council meeting, I had, at least in some part, been spurred on by my enthusiasm by the revelations from my research, which had revealed a couple of things about Jeff. Jeff is not only a film star, but he's also an international rugby player. My eyes glazed over as I had a mind's eye vision of Jeff on a beach on some exotic isle, filming with stars such as Ursula Andress in Thunderball, Demi Moore in Ghost, or even Al Pacino in Heat. But then reality kicked in. I thought he was more likely to be Bo Derek in 10. More on those thoughts later. Jeff was born in Carshalton in 1948, so I've given away his age. He was educated, so he assures me, at Whitgift School, Croydon, not Feltham Young Offenders. His father was an independent councillor in the old Bennington and Wallington Borough Council. Some might be unkind enough to say his independent streak has never left the Austin family. On leaving school, Jeff decided to pursue a career in local government. He was gainfully employed, I did say local government, gainfully employed by a series of councils, including Croydon, Westminster and Lambeth, all in their respective social services department. His film star status came about not because of a brief encounter on a train with Celia Johnson, but because he became, and I hope you'll go with the acronym on this, a fellow of the Institute of Leadership and Management, Phil. Achieving fellowship is only one step down from the highest recognition possible, which is the companion of the Institute of Leadership and Management. He is hence a film star. Jeff took early retirement in 2005 and first became a councillor for Canbury Ward in Kingston in 2006. He just couldn't leave local government alone. Jeff and his wife Sheila have a son and 2 grandchildren, and they have lived in Clifton Road, Kingston for 26 years. Fortunately for Sheila, Jeff has a number of interests outside local government, in particular sport. He enjoyed a long rugby playing career, and subsequently as a referee and is vice president of the Surrey Rugby Football Union. He also enjoys watching football and is patron of our local team, Kingstonian FC. Now this is where Jeff's international rugby career came into its own. Will Jeff use his power as a former international player to take us to Twickenham, to shake hands with the great and good from former yesteryear, players like Billy Beaumont, those that remember him, or JPR Williams, one of the banes of my life in the 1970s when the Welsh could do no wrong? Sadly, the truth lies far from Twickenham. Jeff was on holiday in Barbados. How local council can that be? And whilst he was there, he went to watch a local rugby match. I'm sure Sheila was ecstatic with this romantic soiree, but nevertheless he went. And this really will sound like it's made up, so please just bear with me. One of the props who was playing in the team was a Frenchman who owned a local restaurant. Now what Frenchman doesn't? I suppose I don't, so that's all right. But please bear with me a little longer. As if by chance the chef for his restaurant did not turn up at opening time, so the rugby player had to ditch playing for the match, this international match, and return to cooking his frog's legs in his restaurant. This left a significant gap in the team. So, as you can imagine, Jeff just stepped forward, didn't he? Offering his services as a substitute. He was willingly accepted and then played in the match. So he can really claim to be a Barbadian international rugby player. Well done, Jeff. When Jeff retired from playing rugby, he started refereeing, and this culminated in his personal peak of refereeing in front of over 15,000 spectators at a match between Harlequins ladies and Wasps ladies. And not many, including those at Chair DC, had to put up with so much heckling from that number of people. He likes listening to country and western folk music, but I believe he's not that keen on line dancing, although he also denies his interest in Dolly Parton, although I think that's decidedly suspect. Although you think his choice of shirts might give a game away, but I'm not really sure whether those choice of shirts will go with his mayoral claim. Maybe. As part of his commitment to giving back into the community, he is a reader of the Kingston Talking newspaper for the blind. He is also the chairman of the Friends of Kingston Hospital and Kingston Hospital Radio, so he really is a local community man. I'm pleased and delighted and confident that Jeff and Sheila will be excellent representatives for the Royal Borough for the coming municipal year. I wish them both well and look forward to seeing positive press coverage for Jeff, Sheila and for the Royal Borough. Thank you, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Councillor Hudson. Before we go on ahead, that lady at the back there is my mother, Erin. She's rather short, and as you can see past those, could you escort her to one of the front seats? Thank you so much. Thank you, that's very kind. Thanks. I will now ask for Councillor Kevin Davies, please, to come and say a few words.
Mayor, Representative Deputy Lieutenant, Honorary Freeman, MP, Honorary Alderman, distinguished guests, councillors, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff. I've known him for, I think, well over 12 years now, from that time, and I can tell you that there are three characteristics that define Jeff. The first one is he has an incredibly strong spirit, a very spirited man, who stepped up during the course of this year to be our Deputy Mayor, and has carried out that task with absolute authority and aplomb. He's also a man who is very, very certain of mind. I can assure all the councillors in this room that over the course of the next year, discipline at council meetings, real discipline, will be something uppermost in the mind of our new mayor. Yes, here. The third thing about Jeff is that he has a wonderful, caring nature. His work in social services has continued well into his retirement, and he still today does a lot to look after children and trying to work as closely as he can with achieving for children some of the very difficult cases we deal with in this borough. Strong spirit, certainty of mind, a wonderful caring nature. For me, those things define Jeff, but they also define who we should all want to have as our mayor of the Royal Borough. They're vital ingredients, and I strongly support his installation as our mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby confirm that Councillor Jeff Austin is elected Mayor of the Royal Borough of Kingston upon Thames for the year 2016-17. Congratulations, sir. Thank you. I will be speaking from the floor a little bit later, but for now I would like to thank you all very briefly just for the opportunity to serve you and the community as Mayor. And I have to say I have thoroughly enjoyed, alongside with the Mayoress, every single one of our 625 plus engagements this year. It has truly been an amazing and brilliant year. So thank you all and God bless. The meeting now will adjourn for a few minutes to allow us, our new mayor, to put on these robes and change of office, and we'll resume in a few minutes. Thank you.